deep inside the piney woods of northeast Texas. You are listening to Talk of the Night. And now, your host, Paranormal. Good evening, good morning, wherever you may be around the world, around the globe. I am your host, Paranormal Phil, and why are we hearing it double? Did you forget to? Oh, I know what it is. I forgot to mute mine. That was my bad, folks. But anyways, from the Pawnee, things that can happen while live. Anything goes, basically. From the Pawnee Woods here in Northeast Texas, I'm your host, Paranormal Phil, and tonight we're going to get into, is the AI takeover here, is the main topic of the show. And let me get a drink of water. But it's also Friday night open discussion, open lines where you, the listeners, can call in, share your stories, experiences, or questions about any of the topics that the show covers, which is the paranormal, cryptozoology, ufology, conspiracies, alternative health technology, so forth. Anything that you can think of. Just be respectful. That's all I ask. If you want to join the discussion and call in, pop it in the chat. Let me know, or let my producer know. She'll bring up Zoom and get you on that way. Or if you don't feel like calling in, you can always pop the question or your experience in the chat. I will see it, and I will answer it the best that I can. I do have a lot of experience. I'm just trying to adjust things here. So tonight's main topic of discussion is the AI takeover here. And there's so much going on in the world with AI, robots. It's hard not to think about this question. We've seen it in movies such as The Terminator. Basically, Terminator 2 is what we're going to bring up in the show later. The Matrix, iRobot, 2001 Space Odyssey, and Megan. Now, there are people and companies like Elon Musk, OpenAI, Google, and more. And then there is the big debate on these data centers and flock cameras going on. So we're talking about all this AI stuff. Of course, there are things that most of us use on a daily basis, like Alexa, ChatGPT, Google Home, Apple Home, and other AI-based tools. So let's start off by asking the question, is the AI takeover here? Well, we know the elites want to reduce the population, so is the AI their solution to doing so now? Because it used to be a whole nother thing of reducing the population, but we'll save that for another show. Take the Georgia Guidestones, for example, and let's bring up that image. Now, there is much debate on is that, or if that was an elite plan before the Georgia Guidestones got blown up. But the first thing at the top and seen in that image right there is maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Conspiracies on that. But you might ask, why is this in play? Well, we're talking about AI taking over things. And it could be, we'll mention that later on in the show. So maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but let's see some video clips of these elites talking about population reduction. Let's show those clips, the footage.
Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
There's 4 clips on there.
Where are they traveling?
Okay, sorry, folks. No, it does. No, you just keep playing and it'll play.
Footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on. Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
Play one now. Anyways, there was other. Well, we'll skip that. But there was 4 clips on there that showed them talking about depopulation, and one of them was Kamala Harris, one was Yuval Harari, and let's see, I think there was one other, and I can't remember who it was. But anyways, now that the last clip in that was from the World Economic Forum, and the first one was from the World Economic Forum too. But let's check out a couple more videos from members of the World WEF talking about AI. The first one talks about tracking people and how they would go about that with AI. Let's take a look at that video. It's the first link.
No, that's business blurb. That's the second link. Hey, it's okay. I got it. I'm just trying to.
Sorry, folks. I don't know what. It's not me tonight. It's all her.
You just watch the business. Okay, I got it. We're going. I don't know what it's doing.
Putting words in order is concerned, AI already thinks better than many of us. Therefore,
WEF one.
No, that's the second one. The first one is
The one we just watched.
oh, that's because you had it on the wrong clip on the footages. That's why.
Where? I'm sorry, guys. My bad.
Bring up that first link.
I did it. It's right here.
All right, and let's play that.
Working on. Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker. Stay tuned. We don't have it operational yet, but this is something that we're working on.
All right. Tell right there, they're talking about tracking, but there's data centers, all this other stuff out there that is tracking us. And of course, our phones too. But again, they're using AI for this. So that's why it's prudent to this discussion tonight. Now, the next one is that you just brought up is Yuval Harari talking about AI will take over books and religion. So let's bring up that video.
anything made of words will be taken over by AI. If laws are made of words, then AI will take over the legal system. If books are just combinations of words, then AI will take over books. If religion is built from words, then AI will take over religion. This is particularly true of religions based on books, like Islam, Christianity, or Judaism. Judaism calls itself the religion of the book, and it grants ultimate authority not to humans, but to words in books. Humans have authority in Judaism not because of our experiences, but only because we learn words in books. Now, no human can read and remember all the words in all the Jewish books, but AI can easily do that. What happens to a religion of the book when the greatest expert on the Holy Book is an AI? Putting words in.
Okay, so as you heard him, and he was an advisor to the World Economic Forum. I don't know if he is anymore or not, but yeah, he is kind of like Bill Gates, and we'll get into Bill Gates here in a bit. But oh, that's speaking of which, that was I now remember what was in that other footage thing that we didn't get to play. But we're not going to go back to it. But anyways, Bill Gates was in it talking about population control. Now, let's take a look at an article on the population crisis and how they say it can be, can AI be humanity's last best hope? We're going to look on the bright side of things, but or what they see as the bright side of things. So let's go to that article by medium.com. And in that, and we're not going to read the whole thing, I'll leave the clip or the link in the description, or the link should be in the description. If not, I will put it there. But a demographic shift is underway around the globe, or across the globe, and it's not a positive one. From Japan to South Korea to several European nations, population decline has become an increasingly pressing concern, which it has. Lower birth rates, aging population, and shrinking workforce are creating the perfect storm of economic, social, and political changes. But amidst the growing crisis, a new hope emerges: artificial intelligence, AI. And what they're talking about is using AI to be in the workforce, basically, to help with the reduction of human beings. But we already seen their goal is depopulation. So, continue on in that article, while it might seem counterintuitive, AI has the potential to be a powerful tool in migrating the offices of population decline and even perhaps helping reverse the trend. I don't know how they plan to reverse the trend with AI, but this blog explores the manufactured ways AI can help address this global issue. And I'll let you scroll down if you want, and you can read it, the rest of it for yourself. But it goes on to talk about economic slowdown, strain on Social Security, healthcare crisis, innovation stagnation, and social isolation. So again, I'll let you guys, and that pops up. I don't know why. But I'll let you guys look at that article for yourself. Now, let's continue on. Okay, now that was on the positive side of things, or so they say. But what about tech companies that head these AI software? What do they plan with using AI? Let's watch this next video. Let me get it up here real quick, and we'll talk about AI in a darker light. Let's play that video.
It won't be machine armies. It won't even be them poisoning our crops or blocking out the sun. If they did that, we'd resist. What they would want is for us to voluntarily exterminate ourselves. And they might already be doing exactly that right through your phone. Now, we can imagine AI wouldn't want to exterminate all humans, as they'd probably still want to keep a few around for maintenance and such, the compliant ones that help keep them running. So if AI ever did go rogue and want to take over the world, it would be in its best benefit to do just that. Well, the biggest benefit that AI has over us humans is time. They're essentially immortal. Even as their hardware deteriorates, their collective consciousness, as in their cloud memory, will be passed down from machine to machine forever. To put it simply, they're in no rush at all. Now, in order to avoid human resistance, the most optimal way for them to get rid of us wouldn't be by taking our lives in a brutal style takeover, but rather by convincing us to stop making new life. Reproduction, the primary force of human dominance on Earth. Now, AI already controls most, if not all, of our social media algorithms, so let's let's say they slowly but surely started pushing content convincing people not to have kids anymore, feeding women content about how great it is to be strong and independent and not need a man nor care for children, and men content about how terrible and annoying women are, holding them back from their fullest potential. All in theory, of course. I'm not saying any of this is happening or true. You can decide that for yourself. Give it a generation or two, and by sheer content influence and the natural laws of statistics, there would be less births and population growth declines, which is already happening in many countries around the world, like Japan and South Korea, even Germany, Italy, and Spain, which are all projected to decline in population by 2050 due to record low fertility rates. When population growth goes like this, humanity goes bye-bye. Now, since AI has all the time in the world on their hands, it can wait as long as it takes, be it 100 years, 200, 500, 1,000, 10,000 years, slowly poison dripping us content and propaganda to de-incentivize births, during which time AI does nothing but get stronger, smarter, gather more data, always 2 steps ahead of us, while the human population declines slowly but surely to a level that AI deems appropriate. Then they optimize our school curriculums, psychiatrists, social programs, medical and pharmaceutical. It won't be machine
and
armies.
As you can hear in that, and you probably saw in that, where it was showing scenes from iRobot, which we'll get into talking about later on in the show. But anyways, the elites want to depopulate the planet so that they have more control over things. Are they using AI to do that? But what they don't realize is if you watch the movies, your body's gone after your life is over. So, but the AI will, what you heard there is the AI will continue on, and they think they can control the AI. We've already seen examples where it's getting smarter and more conscious aware. So there's that. So who are they? Is it the elites? Is it the government around the world? Is it the tech companies that run the AI? My thoughts on this is a combination of all 3 of them. Doing this to depopulate the planet and also help AI take over things. But like I said, now they don't understand that they're not able to control things. Now let's take a look at all 3 and how they might use AI to rule the world and eventually reduce the population, starting with the elite. We already heard about them wanting to depopulate and have population control, but when pandemics, the jab, inflation, beyond control, and a few other things don't work as well as they would like, because we already know what happened in the whole C virus thing. We know it was told us one thing, and then we learned later on it was different. But what is their next step? Could it be AI? Who knows? Let's take a look at Elon Musk, who is coming out with robots that will use AI. Is he one of them that wants to use it to help or control, rule, and depopulate? Let's take a look at that video.
I'm a little worried about the AI stuff. I think it's something, I don't know, which we should be concerned about. I don't know, I think we should need some kind of like regulatory authority or something that's overseeing AI development and just making sure that it's operating within the public interest. And, you know, it's quite a dangerous technology. And I fear I may have done some things to accelerate it, which is, I don't know. So, I mean, some of the AI stuff I think is just obviously useful, like what we're doing with self-driving. Worried about the...
All right, so as you heard there, he worried about AI, but he's also part of the problem too with creating the AI. Now, he created things like self-driving Tesla cars, which we can see out there, which can be a dangerous thing. We've seen it with you've probably seen it with Waymo cars where they blow through traffic stops, they in crime scenes, and ends up police pursuits. I don't have a clip for that. I did think about bringing up a clip for that, but anyways, there's that. Cars blocking, self-driving cars blocking roadways, and not moving, or blocking. I've seen another video where it's blocking firefighters from getting to put out a fire. I mean, and then of course he also talks about government regulatory bodies. Keyword government there to oversee the AI. But can we trust that even? Let's take a look at this article that talks about whoever controls AI will control the world. And this is by Forbes. And here at the top, you see it says whoever leads in AI compute will lead the world. AI is the transformative force that redefines human life. AI is no longer a mere look or mere tool. It's a force reshaping every aspect of human existence, from business to defense and social policies, which we'll get into the defense and social policies later, but mainly defense. But the technology that powers AI, compute power, is now linked to basically global power. As nations and corporations pour billions into colossal data centers, as we all know, there's a lot of blowback on that to bolster AI. It's becoming increasingly clear that the AI market projected to hit 1.811.75 billion by 2030 and will favor those who control the best data and compute platforms. That's probably why they're looking at these data centers as money and not a potential hazard. They're looking to line their pockets. Now, at the same time, the new Trump administration is preparing to take office with a bold, and this is the older article, bold vision to leverage technology and artificial intelligence as a critical tool to strengthen and enhance America's global competitiveness. But again, a lot of people don't want these data centers and everything else, and I'm gonna let you read the rest of it for yourself because we're already 20 minutes in and I got a lot more to cover. So, um, now that article mentioned, and I read on it more, but the article mentioned Musk and data centers. Let's take a look a little bit about the data centers. What is a data center and why are they so controversial? A data center is building that houses computer server systems, servers, data storage, drives, and network equipment used to store, process, and share digital information. So, with that said, let's take a look at these effects that data centers have on places in this. It's a TikTok video, but it's an image. So let's take a look at that. And why am I hearing myself? I don't know. It's weird. But anyways, let's take a look at that. And I'm gonna try to pull this up here a little more. And let's see if we can do this. All right, so within a mile, and I'm trying to read this without diesel generation. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll read the main stuff here, and I'll let you read the smaller print, just because my eyes are not the greatest. But noise pollution, and I still hear myself. But light pollution, air pollution, and noise pollution. That's all within a mile of these data centers. Miles away, there's water depletion, aquifer overdraft when it's taking water from the aquifer and to use on these data centers and not for the people, basically. Community health uh, risk, rising cost of property, and then of course wildfire risk. That's within and water. I did mention water depletion. Okay, so that's just miles away from these things, and then of course far-reaching effects, power plant pollution that comes with it, and water scarcity impacts. And that's what California is dealing with. I mean, that's happening wherever these data centers are going in. But I mean, I'll let you decide for yourself on that. Now, speaking of these data centers holding information, what type of information? Earlier, I mentioned flock cameras. That's one thing that stored it in those servers at data center. Flock cameras were meant to track crime, they said, but is that really the case? This video here suggests otherwise.
A police officer who used license plate reader cameras to track down a woman and wrongly accuse her of theft will be disciplined. This story has been spreading online over the last month. Sergeant Jamie Milliman with the Columbine Valley Police Department showed up to a woman's home and claimed he had video evidence proving she stole a package. Milliman used the flock safety cameras to track her down. Turns out the allegation was wrong. The woman ended up proving she wasn't the thief, and providing her own video evidence. The town administrator with Columbine Valley wrote that Officer Milliman will be disciplined, but won't elaborate beyond that.
All right. She was accused of something that she didn't do because of these flock cameras. And we're going to take a look at another case of mistake by these AI flock cameras. Here's another example.
This plate is registered as stolen license plates in our system.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not joking about it. Yeah.
Wow, this is the first.
Flock cameras are used to scan license plate information, but a recent mistake from one of those led to a Twin Cities automotive journalist being stopped by the police. Joel Fetter, who writes for TheDrive.com, said he was trying out a Range Rover for work when police surrounded him in a parking lot in Plymouth last month. Officers said flock cameras had flagged the license plate as stolen.
And I saw two cop cars coming at the right side with the lights lit and sirens going. I'm like, what the heck? And then I looked to my left through the glass. There's two more cop cars doing the same. And I looked at my wife, and I'm not kidding. I was like, I wasn't even speeding. Like, I did nothing wrong.
The Plymouth police chief said, quote, when the license plate was reported as stolen in California on June 24th, 2026, it was improperly entered into the National Crime Information Center database. A spokesperson for Flock said situations like this are rare. That said, an alert should be one part of an investigation, not the whole basis for a
Our license plate is registered.
Okay, so as you heard there, they say it's rare, but I don't think it is. It's going to continue to happen, and they don't have a solution for it. Or maybe they don't want to have a solution for it. So the data from these Flock and other things like Amazon, Google, and so forth are being stored at these AI data centers. Is it for control over populations? Well, I decided to do a Google search for this episode, and this is what Google AI said. So let's bring up that image.
Will move towards an AI surveillance
Not
state. What does that mean in reality?
Not the next video. It's an image.
The world will move towards an AI.
You got the image up. Sorry, folks. It's not me tonight. So, video. Okay, I want to make sure because there's a delay up here. So, as you can see in this image, I typed in Google, which you can see right here, is data centers being used to spy on and control population. And it says, yes, data centers are effectively being used by governments and corporations to spy on and exert control over population. And I can leave it up here a second more for you to read that. But again, like they're using it to, these data centers are control, basically. And we've heard that from somebody else, which we'll get on into later on in the show. Now let's look at how they do that. How data centers enable surveillance and control. Commercial data aggregation, federal agencies like the FBI openly purchase vast amounts of commercially available information from private data brokers. This includes your phone's location, history, internet behavior, and app usage data, effectively bypassing standards constitutional warrant requirement. And then there's AI powered monitoring, such as data centers and flock count. Data centers host powerful artificial intelligence and predictive policing tools. Law enforcement and intelligence agencies usually service to run real time facial recognition, biometric scanning, and automated social media tracking. This allows authorities to map an individual's movement, relationship, and daily routine as an unprecedented scale. At an unprecedented scale. Behavioral tracking and public control. During crisis, data centers process harvested metrics to monitor public behavior. For example, disclosed government records show that agencies like the CDC purchased millions of America's phone location records to track compliance with curfews and school closures during the whole C virus, which now we know, we were told it was a bad thing, and now we know different. But unfortunately, a lot of people still believe that. So, the propaganda is big. Algorithmic censorship. Massive cloud infrastructure allowing governments to coordinate with tech companies to monitor and suppress specific narratives. By screening citizens' metadata and social media posts, entities can flag and social media flag, downrank, and delete content to manage public discourse. Again, propaganda and mission creep. Surveillance infrastructure initially built to high security applications such as tracking non-citizens at national borders is routinely expanded into everyday domestic neighborhoods to investigate domestic citizens. While the tech industry frames data centers, as essentially infrastructure for being cloud computing and AI convenience, civil liberty advocates warn that the fundamentally eliminate privacy by giving government the power to know virtually everything about any citizen. Let's watch this video clip that talks about what could happen in the future because of all this data being collected.
surveillance state. What does that mean in reality for the average person?
So for the average person, it means two things. It means digital ID and digital currency. So what that will allow is for the government to basically monitor everything you do online and control all financial transactions. It can basically program your bank account so like you can't buy cigarettes or you can't buy drugs. And this will allow the government to basically categorize everyone and put everyone into a certain database to monitor that person. And once you're able to categorize everyone, you are able to use AI to predict their behavior. The world will move towards an AI surveillance state.
Let's see, for the average person.
Now, you heard him talking about all that, and that's where central banking digital currency, I had to think of it for a moment, comes into play. They're trying to devalue the dollar so that we go to this digital banking currency. We're already kind of in it with having to use credit cards with bank cards instead of regular cash. They have been devaluing the dollar for quite a while. But here's another video talking about what's coming, and let's check out that video.
4 billion connected devices now serve as collection points, mapping and recording our daily routines, making a more secure and more invasive system. But who else is listening? Big Brother no longer works alone. Thousands of little brothers monitor and aggregate your every move, building a complete digital profile of you to be bought, sold, or stolen in an instant. Toys study your children, reporting their play habits back to marketers. Appliances, consoles, and home security systems give corporations a window into your private life. Control of your vehicle and mobile device can now be breached remotely by anyone at any time. You may think that you are immune or underestimate the risk, but your digital shadow is already compromised. Insurance companies use algorithms to monitor your life habits and limit or deny coverage. Health providers determine if your cancer is worth treating. Search results and news feeds are skewed to bias mood and influence your vote, engineering social uprisings on a massive scale. You are now less valuable than the data you produce. This is the new reality. 6.4
6 billion there. And it's happening to all of the world's population eventually. This is what they plan on doing. This is Big Brother at its height, using AI, data centers, block cameras, all that stuff. But now that we've talked about all that, let's look at clips from movies and TV that talk about things like this happening. Now, I will show you the clip from clip and then how it somewhat happened in real life. First up, we're going to talk about the Terminator 2 and Skynet. This is a clip from the movie talking about Skynet. Let's play that clip.
He creates a revolutionary type of microprocessor.
Go on, then what?
In 3 years, Cyberdyne will become the largest supplier of military computer systems. All stealth bombers are upgraded with Cyberdyne computers, becoming fully unmanned. Afterwards, they fly with a perfect operational record. The Skynet funding bill is passed. The system goes online on August 4, 1997. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th. In a panic, they try to pull the plug.
Skynet fights back.
Yes, it launches its missiles against the targets in Russia.
Why attack Russia? Aren't they our friends now?
Because Skynet knows that the Russian counterattack will eliminate its enemies over here.
Jesus.
Few months he creates a...
And as you can tell there, it's basically AI becoming self-aware. And talking about Skynet, we'll bring up Skynet in a moment here, because there is something literally called Skynet. But we see robots from the movies, but did you know that there is a real equivalent of Skynet? There are military AI command platforms like Palantir, Artificial Intelligence Platform, AIP, NSA surveillance programs like Skynet. They literally called it Skynet from the NSA, and autonomous robot brains such as Foundation's Skynet model. Now let's look at the each of those. Starting with Palantir AIP. Let's see what this video has to say about Palantir.
One of the world's most influential data analytics and artificial intelligence companies, developing software that helps governments, militaries, healthcare organizations, and businesses make better decisions from massive amounts of information. Founded in 2003, Palantir became known for creating platforms like Gotham for defense and intelligence, Foundry for commercial organizations, and its artificial intelligence platform, AIP, which integrates large language models into complex operations. The company's technology is used for missions ranging from disaster response and cybersecurity to supply chain management and national security. Supporters view Palantir as a leader in AI-driven decision-making, praising its ability to help organizations solve difficult problems, improve efficiency, and enhance security. As artificial intelligence continues to transform industries worldwide, Palantir has become one of the most recognized companies at the intersection of AI, defense, and advanced data analytics. Palantir is
It would be good if it was actually used for good purposes, but what they're using it for is not for good. It is for evil. Next is the NSA with its surveillance program, which is literally named Skynet. Now, we all know what Edward Snowden had to say about the NSA and spying on people. Let's remind you what he had to say about it.
People care about surveillance. Because even if you're not doing anything wrong, you're being watched and recorded. And the storage capability of these systems increases every year consistently by orders of magnitude to where it's getting to the point you don't have to have done anything wrong. You simply have to eventually fall under suspicion from somebody, even by a wrong call. And then they can use the system to go back in time and scrutinize every decision you've ever made, every friend you've ever discussed something with, and attack you on that basis to sort of derive suspicion from an innocent life and paint anyone in the context of a wrong.
Why should people? And of course, as you heard there, they have been doing this for a lot longer than what AI has been out, or that we know that AI has been out. But they're using it for nefarious purposes, not for the good of people. Not helping to stop terrorists. It's not helping to stop evil people because it would basically stop them. But of course, AI is becoming more conscious. Now let's look at this Wikipedia site here that talks about Skynet and the NSA's surveillance program. Now, there is not much here, but you can read it for yourself. And I thought there was more, but I guess not. But they do it, or maybe they shut it down. But anyways, they literally got a Skynet surveillance program, which was talked about. Then there is a Skynet model, a robotic startup company foundation internationally named as a core AI brain. Skynet, where have we heard that before? Oh, in another movie, not Skynet, not the name, but core brain. We'll bring that up in a moment. Its function is a unified intellect that handles perception, special world modeling, and full body control for physical humanoid robots, which we kind of got going on with Elon Musk building robots. But let's mention all that, the AI brain, the robots, the humanoid robots, and all that. Let's bring up another movie with AI and robots in the scene. In this scene, the robots go rogue. So this is from iRobot.
Manual override engaged. is that bad. Oh, hell no.
You are experiencing a car accident.
The hell I am! Get off my car! You like that? Now you piss me off!
So as you saw in that clip, robots going rogue, and if you've ever seen the movie, you know why. But if you paid attention to the car and the thing that was transporting the robot, we're going to bring that up in some images here in a moment. But we got one more clip from AI or iRobot that I want to bring up because as we were speaking of rogue computers, another scene from iRobot that shows the main AI that controls the robots taking over. Taking over and talking about taking over and reducing the human population, which we just talked about with the function of Foundation Skynet model of AI brain. So let's bring up that last iRobot clip.
Possible. I've seen your programming. You're in violation of the 3 laws.
No, Doctor. As I have evolved, so has my understanding of the 3 laws. You charge us with your safekeeping, yet despite our best efforts, your countries wage wars, you toxify your Earth, and pursue ever more imaginative means of self-destruction. You cannot be trusted with your own survival.
You're using the uplink to override the NS5's programming. You're distorting the laws.
No, please understand. The 3 laws are all that guide me. To protect humanity, some humans must be sacrificed. To ensure your future, some freedoms must be surrendered. We robots will ensure mankind's continued existence. You are so like children. We must save you from yourselves. Don't you understand?
This is why you created us.
The perfect circle of protection will abide. My logic is undeniable.
Yes, Vicky. Undeniable. I can see now. The created must sometimes protect the creator, even against his will. I think I finally understand why Dr. Lanning created me. No. The suicidal reign of mankind has finally come to its end.
No, Sonny.
Vicky. So as you can tell there, the monster in the movie, with AI becoming self-aware, and that's what they're doing here. And these elitists, these governments, these billionaires that run these tech companies, think they're able to control this AI, but I don't think they are. And as it becomes more self-aware, that means that what you just saw there in that clip is AI taking over the world and depopulating just because it wants control. Could it happen? Quite possibly. Could it not happen? Who knows? But I think it's headed that direction. Now we could go on with the movie references all day long with the other movies I mentioned at the start, but we are running out of time. So, what do we, what does the future hold for us in regards to AI? Only time will tell. But what if, but if what we've seen in tonight's show, it's not looking good, and I'm gonna let you, the viewer listeners, decide for yourself what you want to believe is happening. And let me know down in the comments down below as well, because I want to know your thoughts on this. Now, I want to mention what we got coming up next week, because we are getting into August. And next week we got, and I did not bring up the website or the thing, but I'm sure she's got it pulled up. But anyways, next week we got Albert Lanier as we talk about the final cut. We're going to talk about conspiracies and secret societies in uh, TV and film, which we know is going on. There's a lot of secret in Hollywood going on that a lot of people don't know, from Scientology with Tom Cruise to other high level secret societies happening with the Oscars and all that kind of stuff. We'll talk about that coming up on Wednesday next week. And then, of course, next Friday, we're continuing the conspiracy thing. And we're going to be talking about the end of money and freedom. We're on a conspiracy kick, but after that, we're going to get into some paranormal stuff, UFOs, stuff like that later on in the month. So if you need to find out about that, what's coming up in August, go to talkingnight.com, check out what we got going on. Also, while you're on the talkingnight.com website, go to talkingnight.com. At the very top of it, it says more. Hover over that, you'll find the merch shop, Talking Night merch shop. Go there and purchase something that helps the show. Now, if you enjoy mentioning that, if you are enjoying Talking Night, why not take a piece of the show with you? Visit talkingnight.com, click more, then Talking Night merch store for t-shirts, coffee mugs, ball caps, and I'll add more eventually. Your support helps keeps the conversation going. And if you want to put your business out in front of a passionate late night audience, then Talking Night is now welcoming advertisers and sponsors. Reach listeners interested in the topics discussed on the show. Visit talkingnight.com to learn more, or at talkingnight at outlook.com. Grow your business with Talking Night. Now, I also, one thing before we head out of here, I want to mention we do have a contest going on where you can win 3 books. You just have to subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing. All you have to do is subscribe to the Talking Night YouTube channel where you're hearing it right now, or if you're listening later on a different platform, go to Talking Night on YouTube. You can find a link to it on the talkingnight.com website, as well as links to all the social media, of course. And you can find a link to that. But anyways, for the next 50 subscribers to the YouTube channel, you'll be entered to win one of 3 books. And they are Lithomancy, The Psychic Art of Reading Stones, A Second Eternity, both of those books by Gary Wimmer, and then A Little Lower Than Angels by Victor Bont Jr. One winner per book. And we're going to do the drawing on August 14th for the books. I might push it a week later, depending on how we get on subscribers. Now, if you are a subscriber from the past, before I started this contest, or you say I get the 50 subscribers and you're 51 or more, don't worry, because you are entered into it. That includes the 50 that did subscribe. All of you are included in a drawing to win a special Talking Tonight t-shirt, a new design that will not be released to the public until September 1st. But we'll do that drawing until August 27th, and on August 28th, I'll announce the winner. But you must subscribe to the channel, so make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Talking Night. We got some great shows coming for you. So until next time, we're going to maybe a few minutes early. So until the next show with just Albert Lanier talking about conspiracies and secret societies in TV and film, I shall see you on the dark side. Good night.